Hi, welcome to RxMuscle.com. I'm your host, Ian Lauer. You are in the Diner, a show where we help you build your best physique with quality nutrition so you look good, feel good year-round. With us today is Tad, the Diet Coach.
Thank you, Ian. It's always a pleasure to be here and to be on your shows, especially here at the Diner. And I'm looking forward to continuing to share some of my knowledge with everybody else.
Well, it's time to share some of that knowledge. So, going into those final weeks, there's always a lot of question as to what your protein source should be, what your protein source should be. Should it be chicken breast, tilapia, protein powder? What's good, what's bad? I noticed you have a protein powder here that you use with some of your athletes. Can you tell us the difference between eating whole foods and powders coming into that final prep week?
Generally the final prep week I don't have people doing a lot of drinks, generally speaking. It creates some anomalies that I can't control oftentimes because some with fillers and binders and different things like that you sometimes can't always account for, and it could possibly create some anomalies in the physique. And when you're for a finely tuned athlete on stage, it can create some anomalies. So I don't usually do it the week of, but I do have it spread throughout the diet oftentimes because it's a necessity. Like for instance, my whey protein, I formulated it really just for me for these particular needs because I'm a competitor as well, and in the off season my protein intake is very important. But I was having lots of problems with some of the quality of protein out there from other protein powders that I was buying, and mainly had to do with two things. And these are the things that you should always look out for when you invest in any kind of whey protein or any kind of protein source. And that is one, what kind of source is it? Is it a true isolate? So most people today buy whey protein, and it's the sort of the de facto standard in the industry, and that's fantastic, and it's actually a wonderful tissue building protein. But you really want to pay attention to how it's delivered to you. What kind of whey protein is it? A filtered whey, which is lower quality? Is it a concentrate, which is low quality? Is it a casein, which is low quality? People think that casein's not, but it is. Or is it a true isolate? And mine is an ion exchange cold filtered isolate, so it's a real isolate. There's several companies that make these kinds of products. And it's really important to be able to have that, because that's how your body, when you have a true isolate, you're going to absorb and you're going to use more of those amino acids, more of those building blocks to build tissue and to repair tissue. The second thing that bothered me with most, and this goes true for probably 95 to 98% of the protein powders out there, they're filled with artificial sweeteners. And that stuff, when you take in too much of aspartame or sucralose, especially sucralose, it actually can exacerbate the proliferation of a certain kind of bacteria in your gut, and it can make you bloated over time. Doesn't happen usually automatically. It can happen over time, and it was happening to me. And so when I formulated mine, I made sure that I didn't have any sucralose in it. I used a little bit of fruit juice and stevia, which I like. Stevia is actually a natural source. Your body knows what to do with it. So those are the things that I usually look for when I'm looking at whey protein, and when I'm looking at how much of the stuff I'm going to use, and when am I going to incorporate it. And these are the variables that kind of I think about when I'm architecting the last week before for a prep, which is why I don't usually use a powder only in emergencies if we have to do something. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it.
All right, Ted, that's a great bit of advice, and thanks so much for sharing that with our viewers here.
Well, thank you very much again for having me on the show. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning into the Diner. Make sure you come back for some more episodes soon.